Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuga Tuesday's night, baby. It's a massive, massive episode of the show here, fully loaded. The lineup is up. We got the Eagles up front. We got an offensive line right here with Mr. Ruana, with Rui Pereira, with Eire Gomez, with my boy Mike D'Agostino, Mr. Benfica. All excited. Of course, Mike is more excited than everyone else in this room right now. We know that.
Excited after that? After what I saw this weekend, do you expect me to be excited?
I'm excited. I'm a little excited. I'm only a little excited.
Just a little excited. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Look, guys, throws on the call here for you. In a massive episode of Tuga Tuesday, we got to review the round 21 of the Primera Liga, kicking off the weekend with the Clásico. Massive Clásico. Sporting versus Porto. As good as it gets, brother. As good as it gets. Drama, everything you could ask for.
There was drama, yeah.
in a Clásico. It was there, right? And then the next day, the only thing that Benfica got to do was cash the money. Just give me the money, brother. But they were so close. They were so close again to blow it up again. But it didn't happen. No, it did not happen. No. Mr. Ruano also here with us. Very excited to open the show, but I got something for my boy Rui Pereira Jr. I got something for you, brother. I got something for you.
Oh, come on now. Is this necessary?
That's why I said
you're gonna get this taken down.
This is unnecessary. This is you've never done this before in any show.
I wish
that didn't go out.
Oh, it didn't go off.
All game to say this.
Dracarys. This is our trophy this season.
Count the Dragons out, baby. Go there, count the Dragons out. Because this is the kingdom of the North. And we don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Loader, but it was the last minute of the game. The last minute of the game.
Best call.
That went viral.
Nino, honestly, I've never seen you. Nino, I don't know if it's because Porto puts themselves in all these holy shit moments, or I've never seen you so excited to call a goal for Sporting or Benfica, like the way you do for Porto so many times.
That's just another proof. That's another proof that I'm excited for the moment. I'm excited for the moment. Whoever scores, I don't care if it's Sporting or if it's Benfica, or if it's Porto, but at this moment, it was just remarkable, man. Remarkable. And please go ahead with your opening on your 30 seconds on your Dragons, brother.
Yeah, so a lot better than I expected. I even think the way we approached this game was a lot more intense than we've seen in all season, and even in the games. The first matchup against Sporting, the matchup against Benfica, there was just a lot of. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, right?
It's gonna be wild. This episode's gonna be wild.
Yeah. I think we should roll the tape on that one.
I think overall Sporting was a little bit more of the better team in the first half, but Porto came out with a lot of energy. They showed some sort of control. The midfield was really containing Sporting's midfield. And what I saw that stood out the most, and it could have led to a goal for us early on before Sporting scored, was dispossessing Sporting in their first third. The press from the attackers, forcing the turnover and trying to get forward and get an opportunity on goal. That was something that we haven't really seen. That intensity, that press, that was kind of effective in the beginning stages of the first half. But
we got to remove the Rui Borges method from it.
I hope he's right, so you guys keep playing more games. You need to get tired.
Yeah.
We're already tired.
Yeah, we're
not tired enough.
Sorry, boy. We got this.
No, it's all good. Man. It's all good. I love the commentary. But Yeah, but credit to Sporting on that goal. That kid Kenda is absolutely a stud, and
He's
you know, Rodrigo Mota too. When was like the last time where we saw like two 17-year-olds in a Clásico like this, really just like standing out?
Yeah.
You know, just like that. It was a great display from both of them. But you know, going into halftime down a goal, it felt like, you know, we should have capitalized on those turnovers that we had, but that didn't fall to that ended up falling through. But second half, I really liked the aggressive approach, getting forward, really controlling the tempo of the game. It was unfortunate that we couldn't really break Sporting's defense down to get the goal, to get a couple of goals, but we ended up getting that goal in the 94th minute, which was just it was huge. I know it's like a draw and everything, but it was good to see the reaction from our coach the way that he did. It is unfortunate that it is a draw because like we shouldn't really be celebrating like that in a draw, but I think where we are as a team and how we have been this season, showing that spark, even the intensity of the players, not giving up, being resilient in the second half, being aggressive going forward, just showing that energy that we haven't really seen at all with when Vitor Bruno was our coach. Seeing it from him, I think, is a really good sign, and I think he can motivate a lot of these players, and I think he has already. I think in this game we were much better, wasn't great, and I know Sporting was missing key players and everything, but it's unfortunate that we couldn't take advantage of the missing pieces that Sporting had. You know, Gyökeres came off the bench and everything, and not completely healthy, and a bunch of other guys weren't part of the lineup. But I think this was a positive sign. It's not a bad result, you know, getting a draw against Sporting when you look at the grand scheme of things. But you know, it's just unfortunate that we couldn't get a couple of goals to get the win.
Absolutely, Mr. Gomez on the other side. Tell me the other side of the story of this classic.
Yeah, I do think that the first half went pretty well. You know, Porto, you know, was the team that, you know, was performing more of a higher press. They were playing higher on the pitch. I think that they had more to play for. They were playing at home. They're 8 points behind. So I mean, they were the team that was more on the front foot. But I think Sporting in the first half, you know, aside from, you know, the ball that hit the post, I thought for the most part they were able to deal with the press, and they were able to break the press several times. And you know, they'd get into, you know, Porto's, you know, final third, you know, these 5v4 situations, 4v4 situations, and what they were doing is they get into the final third and they were missing that last pass. But eventually, you know, you felt that, you know, one of those passes were going to come through, and it did. And it was a moment of, you know, brilliance from Kenda. Found the right foot, you know, Fresneda, right place, right time for the second week in a row. I mean, I liked, you know, Sporting's posture in that you knew Porto were going to play, you know, higher up the pitch. You know, Sporting did play with sort of a medium block. But I think they were mature with the ball. They were winning the ball. They were patient with the ball. Good combinations, and like I said, they were able to get into that final third, you know, several times. And you know, finally the last pass, you know, from Kenda, you know, did work out. We were able to score the goal. Second half, I do feel it was a different story. I think that we lowered our lines. You know, we were playing, you know, way too back. And I think, you know, for the most part, you know, we were able to neutralize Porto's attack. But again, I don't like it, you know, when you're playing that deep. You invite pressure, and you know, eventually, you know, something's gonna squeak through, and you know, that's you know what ended up happening. I don't think we were really mature with the ball in the second half. I think we were rushing things, you know, in contrast to that first half. We really didn't get, you know, Victor involved when he came in. He got a couple of touches. He had a shot there at the end. But we didn't take advantage of the fact that, you know, that Victor was on the pitch. We weren't retaining possession long enough, you know, to you know, set him off on his runs. So you know, overall, I mean, I think that, you know, the second half, you know, the second half was disappointing. It's sort of like what happened last year, but in reverse. You know, when Porto had a 2-0 lead, you felt that last half hour, Porto really, you know, started playing a little bit too deep. And even though Sporting wasn't penetrating them, They're inviting Sporting's pressure, and then eventually those two goals, squirted in there in like the late 80s. I think it was 86th, 87th minute, from Victor. We've seen this story, dozens of times when you play way too deep and you allow your opponent to come onto you, bad things usually happen. And that's what ended up happening yet again. And, I know that, Rui mentioned it, I've been watching this game for over 30 years. If there's one team that likes to score in 90 plus minutes, it's Porto, so it happened again. But again, I did say last week, I did predict this game to be 1-1. And if you told me before the match that we were going to come away with a draw, we're going to come away with a point from Estadio Dragão, I would have taken it. So we go on.
Nice. And you know what I love about these two guys, about Rui, about Derek? Nobody says a single word about Pineda. We're going to talk about him too, but not right now. We're going to hold that.
Yeah. I thought he was great. I don't know what everyone's complaining about.
about that. Mr. Rafika, how you doing, brother? I know you were, you know what? By the way, I gotta say this: that picture of the snow outside of your house, man, just stunning view. No, that's not what the result of the outcome of your Benfica. This was a roller coaster, supposed to be a Pablini super stellar show, and then what? Tell me your 30 seconds, brother.
Well, it was what it was. The result was better than the performance, and I'd rather that than the reverse. But it's again another mistake coming out, trying to play nice, coming out of the back late in the game with the lead, trying to force a long pass along the ground. I don't know what Carreras was trying to do, and it lets them back in, and totally avoidable. Sometimes it's okay to knock the ball long, lose it further up the pitch, get organized, win it back up higher versus losing it where it's like 3 games in a row now, losing the ball in that area. And maybe 4 if you go back to the Barcelona game. But it's not, exactly. And it's not inexcusable. And take the result and you move forward, but it can't keep repeating. Otherwise, we're going to be out of the race soon because another 2 more drop points at this point, it's going to get out of reach real quick if they keep giving away goals like that.
I know, brother. Mr. Ruano, he was so focused in that game. Not that focused, but you got to watch the other game. No, the game was later, right? The Super Bowl was later, but he was watching his Braga side. It's all about, Rodrigo Mora and Gio Kenda, but there's another boy in Braga that stole the show. Roger Fernandez bringing all the spotlight to the Municipal de Braga, brother, huh?
He really did. He's starting to come along really nicely. And now with Bruma gone, he's just going to get more playing time and more experience. That goal that he had was just it was a beautiful shot, even though it got a little deflection. It was still a great going down the line, cutting it back, and just heading a sweet left foot to get that goal. But he's showing something for Braga now. Even though Gil Vicente, I feel like the red card took away from them. I feel like I was waiting for a real good game. And that red card that they got, unfortunately, took it out. But Braga, they're starting to get things together. I'm still not a big fan of the coach. Never was. Carvalhal, not a fan. But the young kids coming along. And him and Navarro, they bring something different to the team. So hopefully they can keep going. Because, listen, they're not too far behind Porto.
No,
they're there.
They're tied with Porto, yeah.
Good level,
they're
tied.
They're right there. They're waiting for anybody to slip up to hopefully try to get that second spot. That's what they're trying to get. And they can, if somebody keeps slipping up, they're going to go up there. They're going to get that second spot. That's what they want. They want that Champions League spot.
Yeah, and Benfica has a uphill battle to deal with too, because 2 of their players got carted off. They're out for the season. That's tough.
And Alexito Va, that's rough.
Yeah. The good thing we have 8 wingers and 4 strikers, though. That's
the good thing about being deep.
Unbelievable, man. That's just unbelievable. So, Roy, we're praising now the second half, the changes that Anselmi made in the second half. But let's talk about the first half. So what went wrong in the first half that you couldn't just get the edge of the game in the first half?
Say that again.
What happened? What went wrong in the first half? Because we were praising Anselmi for tweaking the game, making the substitutions, being aggressive in the second half. But what happened in the first half that it didn't well? It didn't go well for Porto.
I don't think it was terrible. I think there was moments where in previous Clásicos, Porto would take it. Like, for example, the Steven Eustáquio opportunity, you have to bury that. Creating these turnovers in the final third, it would always change momentum when Porto gets an early goal in the game. Coming out with a high press and intensity and forcing these turnovers that would lead to goal, it would change the momentum. It would stun the opposition. And I think overall in the first half we did okay. Sporting was the better side. They were breaking our press at times. They were getting forward and getting some opportunities. But it's a matter of just being more clinical. Once you have an opportunity like the one that Steven Eustáquio has, you have to bury it because it changes the game immediately. But overall, it's like you kind of expected it. Sporting are the more dominant side in terms of, they are the better team, even with all the players that they're missing. They have a good chemistry, and they're very effective on the attack. So it was expected to them to get a flow going and being on top of our defense. So this is where we're creating, when we're causing turnovers, we have to capitalize. That opportunity with Eustáquio could have changed the game, and then who knows what would have happened. Porto could have had a lead. It could have been just 1-1 at halftime. And then the second half, Porto came out much different. I know the result changed the approach for Sporting, knowing that they're limited and they were going to be focusing more on defense and just holding Porto off. But I don't want to say it was just wrong. It was a terrible half on us. I thought we did okay. Usually the adjustments are always made in the middle of the game at halftime or in the second half where things can become different. So I wasn't too disappointed overall on how we played. It was just more unfortunate that we couldn't get that goal when we pretty much should have scored.
And do you feel that, what did you say here? Samu exposed a crack with a Hail Mary shot and almost scoring with
that's right. So that was obviously that's a bit of a stretch when you're shooting from that far out, but that came off of dispossessing Sporting on the yes. Right. I think it was right before midfield.
But aside of that play, that was clear, that was so smart to do. Also, it seems like Samu is not. I don't know. I say that he lost power, but he's not getting his groove back yet.
Oh, on the last play of the game, that was.
Yeah, I mean,
that was an incredible touch.
Yeah, that's.
I think he brings. I think he brings a lot more to the game than just scoring. I don't consider him as just a poacher, just like a guy that just sits in the box, just waits for the ball to come to him. He really gets involved, even when he's applying pressure to the defenders, creating. We talked about this in the last game for against Rio Ave. He had 3 or 4 key passes where if it led to create and lead to other opportunities for the other attackers to get involved. So he's not getting the looks. That's also a team issue. When he does get his looks, he's pretty reliable. But he offers a lot more. I still think in this game he was great. Aside from the amazing assist he had to Danny Namasu, I thought overall what he was doing it was pretty effective.
Okay, all right. Mikey, so after the Casapia disaster, back-to-back victories, scoring 6 goals in the last 2 games, and it feels like these 6 goals like almost mean nothing for you.
It's an inability to manage the game with the lead. That's what it is. It's starting to watch the clock, and instead of making the ball move quicker and you run less, they're doing the opposite. The ball's moving slower, and they're trying to take players on in bad situations just because they have the lead. And I think, again, Elijah's substituting leaves a little bit to be desired. He's not rotating the players well. He of course, those two injuries are going to wreak havoc on any rotation now, because we effectively don't have a right back on the roster because they decided they didn't need one. And you move Tomas Araújo out to the right, and now your best center back is playing right back. Everything's off balance once you start doing that. But it's just, again, it's inability to take care of the ball, inability to control the tempo, and to keep the ball further up the pitch. They're possessing in their back half slowly. The problem is the ball's moving so slowly, and it's super predictable. So Moreirense, with a simple press in a 4-4-2, were able to put more players in the key areas where the ball was being disputed, and eventually you're going to turn the ball over. And you're going to give opportunities, and then when you don't take your opportunities to make it 4-1, you end up paying for it. And this one was, very, very close, and it didn't need to be.
Now let's just give you a little bit of positive, please. Talk to me about Pavlidis, brother. Talk to me about
absolutely.
Pavlidis. He's
Absolutely.
producing now, brother. Erupting now, striking. I'm so happy for him.
I used your goal call in my podcast this week where you said you don't know who Zeus is, but you know who Pavlidis is. But yeah, I couldn't be happier. I don't think anyone deserves it more than he does. He's done so much work all season off the ball, creating. When it wasn't going in, he was finding other ways to contribute. And now he's finally finding the back of the net. I mean, that second goal, that's all confidence, because he doesn't even look up to see where the goal is. He turns, he shoots, he hammers it into the roof of the goal. And then he waits to see if he's onside, which is the right thing to do, because if he's worried about that, he's gonna miss the shot. And fortunately, he was onside. He takes the penalty kick well. That's not easy to do either, especially when your penalty kicker is not there. Someone else has to step up. There's a little added pressure in that situation, especially, it's early and Benfica are under pressure. They know they have to win. The crowd is going to start whistling if you're not in the lead within 10 minutes. They're going to start putting more pressure on. And he converted brilliantly, and he just keeps doing all the right things. So he's yet to play 90 minutes all season. That's another thing I don't get. He always comes out. Always. And I get it, on the eve of
nobody said that Cabral has to play. Why Cabral have to play? Why he must
and
play?
Then now
Why?
Belotti I get it as Belotti's debut, but I mean, it's all season, him having to come out. That also didn't help him break through
That looks super.
Yeah. Out here, it's not in here. There's a difference. But listen, we can debate the rules of what is a penalty, and that's a fair debate. But that the rule can be flawed, but it was applied correctly in the way that it's written. But
it is. Yeah,
exactly. This is the football we have now with VAR and with the rules the way they are. It's more penalties. It's goals being called back. It's not the way it used to be. And
Mikey, you know what I said to Roy was, just go to VAR, and if you say it's not a penalty, I would have been fine with it.
I'm totally fine with that too. I've said that in the past.
Yeah.
I've said that in the past too. If the referee looks at it and says no, then I can live with that.
Yeah, me too. I'll be like, all right, it didn't convince you. Okay, but at least you checked it. I'll live with it.
Yeah, and I see the comments. Now, the VAR has their own images. It's not just the ones on TV that they use. And again, if the VAR doesn't call him to the monitor, yeah. But if the flaw, I think, is too many times the VAR doesn't call the referee to the monitor. I don't know if they're afraid of slowing the game down, but like you guys just said, if you call him to the monitor, he looks at it and he upholds his call, then he at least looked at it a second time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, we were talking before we hit the record. Matthias de Ligt was criticized when he was at Juventus for being Mr. Handball. And that was because the same exact instances happened where the ball hits his body, his chest, and then it would hit his arm.
Yeah.
And it happened like 3 times that year, and they never called it because I don't know if it's by league or if it's FIFA or UEFA or whatever it is that is universal. You know, the law was that if it hits your body and then it hits your arm,
that's how it
never
used
a
to
penalty.
be. Right.
So
Yeah.
but now that I know that it is the law of the Portuguese league or the current law of
it's the way the law
football.
is interpreted right now.
Yeah. So it got to be consistent. So
judgment call.
Consistent.
Judgment
Great
call.
word. Yeah.
It's the Mr. Gomez. I was talking to Mike about the striker because I want to lead into your situation where Jokic is still not 100%, back-to-back games, and you feel it. I mean, Sporting. I mean,
no, of course,
feels the absence of the most equal striker on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when Victor was having like some nagging issues maybe a year ago, and I remember Ruben at a press conference. He talked about. I think Ruben had a great feel for his players. And he talked about, and Victor was still playing, 90 minutes every game. And, Ruben, said at a press conference, yeah, we know that there is an issue with the knee. As a matter of fact, he had surgery after the season. But he said that Victor's the kind of guy that needs to play. He needs to play. That, that's how he just deals with things. He needs to play. And I think that this is what needs to happen. I think that, the last couple of games, putting him in with like 30 minutes to go, he's not getting into the flow of the game. He's not being as dynamic. It's just, I think that, we really do need to, I mean, we're going, unless, a miracle of God happens, we're going out of Europe, next week. So, you're going to start playing once a week again. He needs to get back on the pitch. He needs to start playing. He needs to start starting. Just to get back into the rhythm, get back into the flow, because by stowing him away on the bench, you're starting to see that when he goes out there, he does appear a little rusty. He doesn't appear as as dynamic as a player as we know he is. So in my opinion, going back to what Ruben said a year ago, this guy's got to play. You got to put him in there. You got to start. He's got to get back into the flow, playing 90 minutes. Unless this is, a really serious injury that they're not letting us know about. Every time, Rui Borges is questioned by the press, he just says that it's muscle fatigue, that it's not, a specific injury. So, I mean, he was dealing with an injury last season and he played 90 minutes every game. So if it's just fatigue, you'd think, with the championship being as close as it is, it's only a 4-point lead, that, he would be out there, he would be playing. So, I do hope to see him out there soon. And I'm going to reiterate what I said last week. I would love to see Harder and him at the same time up top. I think that would. I think that's the best way to play it. I think playing Dani Bagunça out, I think Super Gino may have mentioned it, it's not working. Ever since Dani came back from the injury, he hasn't really made much of an impact. I think half of it is his confidence. Secondly, it's the way that Rui Borges is playing this guy. He's either playing him, he's playing him up top, or he's playing on the right side of the midfield. He's not back at his comfortable position. So, I mean, I think that experiment's failed. When we saw, what Trincão was completely ineffective when he played up there, and he's been a lot more effective now that he's playing, lower on the pitch.
Right.
So
I'd like to space, that ground up there. Forward.
I think that would produce goal scoring opportunities, and I think it's best for Sporting that Victor plays, starts. I'd like to see the two of them start together. We'll see.
But the thing, if it's fatigue, take the chance now. Take the chance now. All right, Victor, I know you want to play. I know you're the best striker on the planet, but I want you to take a rest. 2 weeks out, take a rest, and then be back 100%.
Then be back 100% and play the 90 minutes. I just don't think that these 30 minute stints that he's been playing is really helping him get back into his rhythm, get back into his flow. he seems a little lost out there. And I think getting back to starting, getting back to playing the full 90 minutes,
Yeah.
we'll start seeing Victor again.
Yeah, hopefully
The
so,
real
man.
Victor.
Hopefully so. Now, Mauricio, you said that the red card changed the game for Gil Vicente. I want to disagree with you, man. Of course, it's a disadvantage, of course, right? But I think that Gil Vicente managed the game super well, man. Super well, so compact. And it was so complicated for Braga to break that block, man, because they went into because it's different when you lose a defender than when you lose a player on top. It's easier to adjust and stay and avoid the all the channels and where you can get hit. But again, my boy Fujimoto played fantastic. But why Braga couldn't break this wall, man?
Listen, they were just very, like you said, compact and well coached. Even in the second half, Correa had a good scoring chance.
Yeah,
that could have even evened it up.
The first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. So even with the 10 guys, they were counterattacking pretty good. Him and Fujimoto, as soon as they got the ball, they were breaking pretty good. And I think Braga they were just settling. They thought just with that red card, they could just play through the game, passing it through and trying to get that second goal. And they just couldn't find they just weren't forcing the ball into the area for Fran Navarro to get a chance to get that second one. I felt like they weren't feeding him. I felt like they were too busy trying to run outside and trying to pass through the middle and try to walk in almost the second goal instead of really trying to force anything. And they were playing into Gil Vicente's hand. And I felt like and I really thought that Correa was going to score that goal, and he missed it just by a little bit. No, he's right. He's totally right, and I agree with that. They didn't pass forward. They were just sitting back, playing it back and forth with the defensive line, and they were just trying to break them down pass by pass. They were almost like taking their time. They're like, oh, they're a man down. Let's take her. And they weren't forcing anything. And Gil Vicente was just waiting for that one mistake, that little crack. And they got it a couple of times, but unfortunately, they just couldn't finish.
Yeah, they couldn't finish, man. I'm sorry. I was just calling the game. I was like, come on, Gil Vicente. I was just flat out rooting for Gil Vicente.
You got excited on that one counter. You thought, just like me, it was going in. I heard you get excited. I knew you thought it was going in.
Oh, yeah, that's if I root for one team, I think that's my team in Portugal, bro. I think I'm a Gilista at heart. That's what I am, man. Right?
But listen, they lost Salazar in the middle, and they don't have that creative midfielder. They don't have it. Horta's not that type of player. He's a guy that wants the ball at his feet to take a couple steps, dribbles, and shoot. He's not the one with that creative instinct that can make a great pass to set someone up. They're missing that type of player in the midfield that can just create and feed Roger into the wing and maybe feed Horta into one of those little pockets in between the center backs for a quick hit. They're missing that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll see what happens with Braga in the second half because with all these sales, I don't know what's going to happen with them. Honestly, they're gonna they're keeping up. They're keeping up. Yeah. They're right there. Points, brother, the same as the Dragons here. So
and they're going to be out of Europe.
Be
too.
careful. There's like no room for error. No room for error. Now the title race is getting tighter and tighter now. It's only 4 points behind the Eagles. It could have been 7, but they're not 7. Now it's just everything is getting closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone is closer than they were before. And it's just these different events that happen throughout the season, changing coaches like nothing, like changing diapers, man. It's just crazy. How many coaches we change? I think this is the season that I've seen more more changes in the coaching position than.
Let's say, how many teams still have the coach they started with at this point?
That's
Nino's
question,
right?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I'm talking about coaches, guys.
They
The great Lito Vici is back.
Nino's point.
Lito Vici is back to the Premier Liga.
The Italian wanted out. He's the one that's like, I'm out of here. I'm done.
Yeah.
They didn't
Well, he
fire
knew
him,
he wasn't
left.
going to get
He's like,
paid
I
again.
got this. Yeah. I'm jumping out of the
Oh,
fire.
look at that. We got this.
Yeah,
we got the
Santa,
answer.
I think Santa
Santa
Clara is
Clara,
the
yeah.
only one I can think of.
Yeah.
Santa
Yeah.
Clara, brother. Santa Clara.
That's the only
All
one I
right,
can
but-
think of too.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
talking about coaches, this is we in the coaching
No, he's
topic
still
now.
too, I think.
Eh,
Yeah, they
Possible.
still got the Scottish guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, Casapia,
It's
David
also-
Perez is Casapia also. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming
Yeah,
up.
he's doing a great job. Yep.
Nope.
Coming up. Names are coming up. This guy's still there, right? Okay. Martino tell me in the press conference, he gave an explanation of the outcome of the game based on still there? Yeah, okay. Guys, we're back, right?
You're going in
went
and
away
out.
for a second.
Yeah, going in and out.
Can you hear me?
You're going in and out.
Yeah. Ah, man, crazy thing. All right. Martino tell me explanation on the outcome of the game based on stats. So the number of turnovers, the number of I don't know what were like several topics that he mentioned, and that how you like that approach explaining the game like that, Rui?
No, I don't like it.
Shit.
Yeah. What was it? Which stats were these? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, him using the stats to explain what happened in the game, I think is what he was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
So-
our coach.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell me.
You know,
I think that's
I
just the
don't
way
know.
he's just gonna. I think that's just
He's
the
an
way he's
analytics
gonna
guy.
elaborate.
I haven't seen
Elaborate
that
on.
before. I'm asking that because I haven't
I
seen
just-
that before. A coach explaining.
I
explaining
hate
like that.
I hate when coaches do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
like stats tell so much.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, when you're going against Sporting, talking about turnovers, that's kind of expected. They have a great defense. The two
Mhm.
center backs are probably the best duo in Portugal. But so you don't need to Verizon.
I'm a sprint guy, bro. I'm a sprint.
But I mean, in terms of just like the turnovers, you know, Rodrigo Moura was dispossessed. I think it was 11 times or 15 times. But
Mhm.
overall in the game, he contributed so well on the attack, and
Mhm.
he had a great play in the second half where he dribbled past a few defenders, got a shot off, and unfortunately, when it deflected out to a corner. So, I think Sporting, especially when Sporting is playing so deep, as Derek was mentioning, you're kind of inviting that pressure. So whenever a team is dominating so much in like possession like this, and they're trying to break down such a compact and defensive side, you're going to lose the ball more times than not. The team that has more possession is going to lose the possession. But I mean, over the turnovers, yeah, they're going to happen. But I thought overall, especially in the second half, we and Selmy made the right substitutions, being more aggressive, having 7 attackers on the field at once with just 2 center backs and a couple of midfielders. That was kind of the way to approach it to get that goal, and we eventually did. I think other times in this game we could have had a goal or two. You could say the same thing for Sporting as well, but I think overall this wasn't a bad performance. Sure, there's things that needed to be changed, but you're going up against Sporting. These issues are going to a core. So, I mean, labeling the stats like was he bragging about possession as well?
Blaming, huh? He was not blaming the stats. He was just using to explain, but not as an excuse. I think I got that feeling. I don't think he was.
The thing is, it's like when I don't want to say it's petty. I didn't see the interview, and I don't know where his intent was. But usually, when a coach starts bringing up stats, I hope it's more for like the negative of your own club than as an excuse to not win or whatever it is. So I don't know what the context was where he was coming from. So
I think he was trying to say that Porto deserved better, if I remember correctly. based on some of the stats that he was lining up.
Yeah,
He
but
spoke
that's-
well. I remember he spoke well.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
remember this particular.
No, he said
Yeah.
what I got was that he was explaining that they improved. No, not that they
Yeah.
deserve it, but they improved.
Oh, that
that
they
he-
improved. Yeah, that's a fact for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't
He
think
was
you
not
even
saying-
needed you didn't even need stats to go your way to prove that. This performance was much just the mentality and the aggression, the intensity that the team came out right off the gates. Yes, like I said, Sporting was the better team in the first half. They got the goal, and I think that was like their mission was to get an early goal, getting a lead into halftime, and then go to the second half and with a different approach. But I think this was a positive for the club overall, for us.
Piero says, well, sometimes it starts
Sometimes
live, make
Sometimes, yeah.
players,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
By
look
the way,
at Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Look at
Remember say
Rodrigo
how-
Mora's match rating on SofaScore. It was like a 6.4. But like if you watch the game, yeah, he got dispossessed, and it gets watered down too because he lost like all of his duels, but he
Duels.
is an attacker, so that like brings down your rating.
Right,
So
right.
I thought
I
like
gotta-
people
I
that
gotta
saw the
praise
game wouldn't think that he had a 6.4 rating.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
it's
I
a
think it
little
was a
misleading at times.
4.6, wasn't it? I think it was a 4.6. It was lower than a 6.
Yeah, probably. I think
Yeah.
on SofaScore was it 4.6?
I thought
Really?
maybe that was on
4.6
goal
to
point. Maybe it was on goal point, but I saw.
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah. All
But,
the apps are different.
Yeah, they all use different algorithms. So.
Yeah.
And props to Mora because after that caution, he was like way too aggressive. But he's and it's not the first time. He should have been sent off the other day in Madeira, and he has that. He's aggressive in trying to recover the possession. But I thought that at one point, oh my God, please tell me that we're not going to lose this kid because of another caution, man.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't mind seeing that aggression. Obviously, you have to, and he's young, so he's going to make these mistakes, and then he's going to be a little too, it's a big game. He is immature in terms of like not having as much as experience. Over time, that's going to be corrected, but I do like seeing that aggression coming out. Sometimes these yellow cards, they happen, but it shows that he's willing to fight for the ball, to make a challenge, even if it's right or wrong. He's doing whatever it takes to get the ball, and that's what Porto always had in the past. Even in games, just to slow down momentum of the opposition, they would make these tactical fouls or play over aggressive, and sometimes the momentum carries and the challenge becomes a little bit more reckless than it was intended to be, and you get these yellow cards. But he was very aggressive, but I think he tamed himself and showed some discipline afterwards to not get himself in that situation again, which is great. Unlike Steven Eustáquio, who got like 2 yellow cards in like 2 minutes against Benfica a few years ago, like an idiot. And this guy's been in the league he was like 27 at the time. So
I know. This kid is 17, and he keep the composure for the remaining of the game a long time because like 65 minutes to play on walking on the edge. It's remarkable.
Yeah,
so there's not just his creativity or his skills of his the input that he has in the offense, but also right here. The guy is level-headed, and I love about that there. Rodrigo Mora. So, where's Rodrigo Mora? Talking about Rodrigo Mora, Piero Rodriguez here. By the way, you guys know who Piero Rodriguez is? Is the other broadcaster on Gold TV.
Yeah.
We are three always. But Piero, everybody say hi to Piero from here from the show.
During a telecast, Piero, you called Sporting the Red Lions.
No,
that's sacrilege. That's like breaking a commandment, man. So every time I hear your voice, I just think about the time you called.
I put you in the spot now, brother. What is this?
Piero, you can't do that. That's like the one thing you can't
do that. Can't do that. Oh my God. But I'm talking about not the Red Lions, but the red team here.
You cannot call them the Red Lions.
One of the 2 red teams that we have here, because we got Mauricio also. The wingers, all right? We got lots of wingers on Benfica, but for I'm going to strange reason. I guess not the Green Lions. I think that Atikoglu, right? I think that Atikoglu is not as effective on the right as he is on the left, man.
Yeah.
And I think now you got Sheldrop in because he's he earned the spot as starter.
Yeah.
But now you're gonna sacrifice in Atikoglu playing on the right side because he's not the same guy.
Yeah, and Di Maria is out, so that forces Turkoglu over to the right. But it wouldn't shock me if we see him go with Bruma soon in the right if Di Maria stays out for too long, or if he keeps getting knocks and keeps missing time.
He's trying to.
That's the other guy.
That's the other guy. Yeah.
The other guy.
Turkoglu hasn't been the same since he had that early run of form early on, and he just been dropping in his level. He can't go on the left. Sheldrop is playing right now. You can't move him from there. So if he wants to play, he's got to play on the right for now, and he's got to improve. I mean, you're just not getting the production out of Turkoglu anymore. And if Di Maria is healthy, Di Maria is going to play, and it seems like the plan is to play him until he's hurt. So he's not been managed all that well. He was at first, and then as the season went on,
you think he lost his spot? You think he lost his spot as starter?
I would say so. When Di Maria is back,
healthy?
Turkoglu is the guy that's out. I would think. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now he's even going to compete with Bruma to be that. It's probably going to be Bruma. So he's in a tough spot right now. He's going to have to play his way out of it and train his way out of it.
Derek, in the Sporting goal, when I was calling the game, right, and I said nobody saw him coming, and then you brought that up for a second consecutive week, right? So coming out of nowhere to finish, it's one of the many weapons that Sporting is using now, showing the variety of options that they have in offense. Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm happy for Fresneda. I think he's sort of got a raw deal here at Sporting. He was brought in as a right back. He's a young Spanish right back, and that came from the second division of Spain. We just had a Spanish right back right before him that also came from the second division of Spain. Unfortunately for Fresneda, that guy was Pedro Porro.
Mm-hmm.
So he was following up Pedro Porro. So when he first burst onto the scene, everybody was expecting Pedro Porro the sequel. Mm-hmm. And he's not Pedro Porro, and we just so I think that the expectations were really high for him. And he just didn't live up to that Pedro Porro level player. But he's a good player. I think that he's physical. I think that he defends. I thought he did a good job defending against Porto, and he's been finally given his opportunity. He's been showing up, in spaces. Scored that goal, the week prior, and then again, right place at the right time at the side of the goal. A huge moment on a big stage. So I mean, I'm happy for the guy. I mean, I'd like to see more of him before I, sort of have my full opinion, or I can form my full opinion, and whether or not, he's sort of like the right back, for the future. But right now I'm sort of looking at him as a good player. He sort of reminds me of when we had Ristovsky, where, he was our right back and it's Ristovsky and he's pretty good, but he wasn't that guy that would take us to the next level, the guy that was going to show up on the right side of the attack and provide support to our front three. So yeah, I mean, again, I'd like to see more of him, but I'm happy that he's finally getting his chance, and it looks like he's making the most of his chance, which is great.
And who would you prefer, Fresneda or
as a right back? I would say Fresneda. I think Quaresma sometimes looks like a sort of a fish out of water. I don't know if you remember the final of the League Cup. I thought Quaresma looked terrible in that game. Sheldrup was just was destroying him in that game, and it's not his natural position. And when you're talking about like when you're in these big games, you begin to see that this is not his natural position, and we'd be better served somewhere else. Fresneda is a more natural right back, and I mean, I would, if it was up to me, I would prefer to see Fresneda on the right side versus Quaresma.
Mauricio, in Braga,
You're absolutely right,
you-
Rogerio. I do think sometimes he holds on to the ball too long. Absolutely.
yeah.
That's a fair assessment.
Mauricio, in the Braga game, we were talking about the lack of creativity from the midfield, and then Carvajal changed the two sentiments, right? Gets Uros Rakic and gets Diego Rodriguez in, and then it seemed that with Rodriguez kind of led the way, but not quite. Huh?
Yeah, he freshened it up, and when them two came in, I believe it was Rodriguez and Rakic that came in.
Rakic, yeah.
They freshened up the midfield and they started attacking more. It's almost like they were told to go into the game and to get a hold of the possession and to start feeding it more. I think Carvajal saw the same thing that me and you saw, that they were just being pretty much passing the ball. And he told them, I need you guys to go in there, be aggressive, and feed the guys up front, because we need to get this second goal. Because he knew whoever got that next goal changes the whole outcome of that game. So he was already getting lucky with a couple of those counterattacks. And luckily for them, they got that goal at the end. But those two guys got the instructions as soon as they came in, especially Rodriguez. I felt like he pushed up more, and Ratchis was holding more behind, staying a little bit in front of the two center backs in case of those counterattacks that came back to clean some stuff up. But, yeah, they definitely came in. But like you said earlier, it's going to come down to Roger and Horta. If they can find their way, the way that they're doing it, and Navarro still keeps being active, because I feel like Navarro, his runs, he makes really good runs out of that position, where if they had the right midfielder, they could really get even more out of him, even more quality opportunities and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Now Piero says, I want to be fair, talking about Quaresma, actually, going back a little bit to Sporting.
Yeah.
And Rogerio is backing up Piero, right? Piero, very true. He's not right center back. I like him on defending, but he gets happy when in possession. Yep. And of course, the Rui Borges tactical analysis. Trust the process. That's his quote always. Rui, on your wing backs, right? We're talking about the wingers on Benfica. I want to talk about the wing backs on Porto, Paco Moura and João Mario. I mean, we're not getting the same Paco Moura that we got at the beginning when you just listened to Aquina. He was so solid. He was one of the highest values of the team on the left back position, but it seems like he's kind of going down now, and João Mario is going up a little. We lost. Who did we lose?
Derek.
We lost somebody.
Derek.
Oh, Derek is gone. But you got me. You hear me, Roy?
Yeah.
So what do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall he's had a great season. Last couple of games haven't really been the best. In this game, he was a little bit more quiet, but it's a big game, and he had a lot of he had a workload, especially defensively. Sporting were really penetrating Porto's defense in the first half. Attacking wise, it wasn't really his best performance until he got subbed out. But when he came off the pitch, it was for another attacker. I think it was Borges that came in for him to add a little bit more firepower because they needed a goal. But I still like him. I think he's much better than what we've had in the past, and I think the potential of him being a really good Portuguese, because he's 26, 27 years old. I think he's a player that will stick around for a while, and I like him overall. He's not an Alex Telles or an Alexandro, He's not going to have these great performances and be as effective in every single match like they were. But for the team that we have and the issues that we've had at left back over the years, I think he's a good replacement. But you have to give him time.
Yes, and I think overall he's having a good season too. It's just like in the last few games, you were not winning, right? Also, it's kind of like a collective feeling of not performing well.
But you can say that about so many players on this team. It's like no one's really been as consistent. Samu and Rodrigo Moura have been probably our most consistent players this season. So this whole team, this whole team is pretty much, I don't want to say it's in shambles, but like it's been rattled for the majority of the season, and there's like no continuity, there's no consistency. It's everyone. It's not just him, but I think he's been one of our better players, and even in terms of consistency, I think he's been not as of lately. He has not as of lately, but I think overall this season he's been one of our consistent players.
Mr. Benfica, Mikey. So I've called this label your team as a counter-attacking friendly for the last month or so. And that I cannot take that label off your team, brother. Why?
No, you can't. Why? Poor decisions. I mean, again, it comes back to losing the ball in bad areas and committing too many guys forward at bad times. I mean, I think the teams have scouted Benfica very well because they always know to go where the guy is missing. Whoever is making the run, whether it's to the left where Cajeras is, or if it's Ba, that there's a freeway on the right side when Ba plays. I mean, he's not going to play for a while now, but not till next season. But yeah, I think part of it is these teams are doing a good job scouting, and I think the other part is Benfica's being careless and not taking care of the ball, knowing that the other team needs to go forward, needs to get in transition. That's how they're going to score. They're baiting you to come forward, and Benfica is leaving themselves exposed and then not taking care of the ball at the same time, and that leaves holes for teams to go after. And we're not the fastest back line, so I mean, as long as Tumaja Araújo's got some pace, but after that it's a pretty slow back line. So I mean, they're ripe for it. You notice in Europe it doesn't happen because Benfica don't take those. They don't play that careless. They have a different focus level. And in the Portuguese league, when the other team is bunkering in, and not that Moreirense bunkered in, actually, I thought Moreirense played really well and really came forward a lot, and they had a really effective press in this game. But it's almost like they tone it down a level, like they go into league mode versus European mode or something, and it turns off a little bit, and then the next thing they know that you're on the ropes and you're in a fight in a game that you were controlling 20 minutes earlier because you've just left yourself exposed to the counterattack.
And now we mentioned my boy. I think this is probably, I don't say it's the best right back in the competition, but he's up there, man. Guys got a lot from I love that guy, man. And at the end, I don't know what happened. Did he go to Sporting? Did he go somewhere? I lost track on that one. Who got him?
It was a rumor. It was a transfer rumor, but nothing materialized.
It's just a rumor, right? That was going to Sporting, right?
Nothing materialized.
It was a rumor that they inquired to see what if he was available or not.
Yeah.
No, he's still at Casablanca.
If I'm Benfica, I'm snatched out here in a heartbeat.
We went after two right backs and we swung and missed on both of them.
Listen, Benfica, I would be happy with Ricardo Esgaio right now. Anything is a serviceable. You guys laugh.
You wouldn't.
No.
You guys laugh, but we have no right back. I want Tumaja Araújo playing in his position as a center back, and I don't want Auschwitz playing right back. When I saw that his buyout was like $500,000, I thought Benfica should have gone for it, honestly. They probably wouldn't have done business with
Derek will tell
to
you,
make an
we
effort.
got a good right back that's on loan at Estrela Madura that's actually playing some good ball right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Travassos.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I like that one.
He's the great grandson of Sporting royalty. So
and he's playing some good ball over there, and he's on loan over there.
His great grandfather was a violin, so.
Yeah.
We'll pay you to take his value.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Listen.
For real. Yo, you can have
Anything,
It's sort of
any actual right back right now to be the backup to whoever
Anyone.
would be serviceable. There isn't
Yeah.
even that. I mean, there's a kid in the B team that I think is going to be forced into the situation, but you never know what you're going to get with a kid, in your back line. So
Yeah.
But Mikey, this right back problem, it's been an issue for how many years now? How many years now? I mean, I remember when Double A was playing the right back, and then when he got
since he left, really, since he left,
since
he
then.
left. It's obvious to everyone except to Rui Costa. So
They're gonna move arsonists back there again.
Let me
well,
call him
that's
up.
the problem.
yeah.
I do think that the board thinks they can just rely on. I do think the problem is that whoever makes the decisions, because I don't believe it's Elijah, and I don't even think Rui Costa is making most of the decisions. I think there's someone else behind the scenes that's controlling this, and I think Rui Costa is just the face of a secret leadership group or whatever. But I think they're relying that you can convert Auschwitz and you can convert Araujo, and that's why they didn't go get a right back and minutes of play after the window closes and you lose your right back. It was almost like it was too perfect. It was written in the stars from the beginning,
Jesus, man. Now, so Mikey, that's Alexander dropping in for you. Who you like to get as a right back, and if you have to choose, you're the coach, you're in charge, Mikey.
I would slowly start integrating Leandro Santos. Yes, because I don't want my best center back playing right back. I mean, he can't tomorrow. I don't think he's even on the list for UEFA because he was in the youth league today. But tomorrow, the next league game, I would have him on the bench and I'd bring him in. I'd start with Araujo for now, but eventually he's got to go back to his position. And I would bring in Leandro Santos at this point. There's no other option. So, listen, Bruno Lage launched players out of necessity in the past. So,
look at the David Pereira there, man.
If you use player, what makes you want to resign? They don't appear to. Yeah, he's right. Yeah. This is why they don't sign, and they leave for nothing at the end of their youth career. And this is the time he's got to be used. I mean, there's a history of this situation coming up and it working out. And Benfica does better when they're forced to make these decisions than when they choose to. I mean, João Felix was out of necessity. The guy Lindelof was out of necessity. Too, right? Renato Sanchez, Ruben Dias, they all came up out of necessity because of injuries and they stuck. So Antonio Silva was out of injury. So there's no reason why you don't integrate him now and you work him in and within 2-3 weeks, see if he's got what it takes to be the starting right back. Because you don't know until he's in there. Playing in the B team, and the B team's having a great season. They're actually competing for the second division title, but that's a whole different level, and it's a whole different set of pressure. So I would start to integrate him and see what he can do, and maybe 15 minutes in the first game, 30 in the next one, and then see if he can keep the pace and if he's got the confidence and the awareness to stay in position and to really hold that spot down for the rest of the season.
Do you think you could see Antonio Silva coming back into center back and moving Araujo to right?
I fear that's what he's going to do. I don't want that.
I think so too.
But I fear that's what he's going to do because he has the pace and because he's been playing there now for several weeks. But he's also not. It's a different level of fitness, and it's not the going up and down is not really his strength. Going up and down the pitch the way you want a right back to be able to get forward in the attack. And against bigger teams, when you want to attack, it's going to be difficult.
In the end, I think that Bruno Lage hasn't rely as much on Ragnar as a multiple position player, right? He hasn't played.
Right.
No,
he's played in midfield since Lage has been there. He's played in midfield. the experiments ended with when Lige came on. So
Mikey, now that you mentioned the next couple of games, let's go out for the predictions. Let's go. For
I
the
got it ready.
predictions. The
All right.
next round 22. Who's playing first?
the bankrupt derby between Boavista and Estrela Amadora.
There's no money there.
Lito Vichillon. In Lito we trust. In Lito we trust. Boavista's going to win in the first game with Lito, man. I'm telling you. 1-0. 1-0 for Boavista. You guys lie. Roy, what do you think of this one? Give me a prediction.
Yeah, I think Estrella Amadora is going to win. Yeah, I'll go 2-0 on this.
2-0. Jesus, man. No trust from Lito. Okay. Mikey.
I just think
A couple
Boavista
more
are so
players
bad.
resign. If a couple more players resign, Lito's going to have to sub himself on. So Estrela Amadora is going to win 2-0.
Estrella. Oh, Estrella. No one trusts in Lito. Okay. Deb Gomez.
I would love to see the Shikatada in place here. I'm going to go with you, Nino. I think Lito's going to pull off the win 1-0.
All right. Mauricio.
I'm going to go Estrela Amadora 2-1.
Estrella Amadora 2-1. All right. Piero Reyes says 1.5 goals for Estrella. Boavista, nail. David Pereira says Lito anti-jogo.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next, Mike?
Yeah,
What's next?
All right. Saturday, Moreirense Casa Pia.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
That's a good game.
That is.
They're going to be goals now. I say 2-2 on that one. 2-2.
Yeah.
Roy.
Yeah, Nino, I'll go with you 2-2. Casa PR on the road. Moreirense, they've been playing really well this season. I mean, look, they played really well this past weekend, but didn't get the result. But yeah, 2-2.
2-2. All right, Mikey.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-2, but I'll say 3-3 to be different.
Oh, nice. All right, Thomas.
I'm going to go with the same trend, but I'm going to be a little different as well. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Okay. Ruano.
I like Derek's 1-1. I like 1-1.
1-1. Supergino says 2-2 also. All right. What's next, Mikey?
All right. Whenever the fog settles, Nacional will play Estoril.
Spoiled by
I don't have
prediction.
the game, right? Please tell me I don't have that game, man. Maybe Piero has it. Piero, do you have it? I don't know. I didn't check your schedule, brother, but hopefully you have it, and I don't. No, I don't have it. I have the Santa Clara Benfica in the island too, so it's a tricky.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Nacional who, Mikey?
Estoril. Nacional
Oh.
Estoril.
Yeah, I think the game's gonna be
Nacional.
postponed, and I hope it does. It's gonna be fog. There's gonna be fog all over the place. There's no result this weekend.
It's
We're
a
gonna have to
3:30
predict it.
start though. Well, 2:30 in Madeira, right?
2:30,
For an hour
yeah.
difference.
All right. Okay. There's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They got
perfect timing for fog.
The fog to clear.
So we're gonna say fog 3, Nacional 1.
Yep.
All right. Yes, I'm gonna take Nacional on this one. I want to say 3-1 Nacional.
Wow.
Roy, you say no goals, no nothing. Postpone.
Yeah,
That's,
no
that's your
nothing.
prediction.
No, nothing.
That's the official prediction.
And I'm being kind. I'm being kind to Studio right now.
Yeah, I know.
It's fair. All right. Roy votes for the fog. All right, Mikey.
I think it's going to be a 1-1 tie.
1-1. All right. Thomas.
I'm going to go 2-1 Nacional. They've been getting
1
some
Nacional.
victory.
All right. Ruano.
Estoril's won 4 in a row, I believe. I'm going to go 1-0 Estoril.
Oh,
That'd be huge.
all right. Forgot that.
They're on a little bit of a run. Right?
Yes.
What brother? What are we talking about, brother?
5 in a row. 5 in a
5 in
row.
a row. There we go.
5 in a row. Ooh.
5 in a row. Yeah.
The streak ends there, brother, in the island. That's what it's-
Under the radar. Under the radar. 5.
What's next, Mikey?
All right, to the other island. We're going to see rain, sleet, sun, all of the season, all in one game.
And the frozen pitch.
The full
On top
island
of it.
experience.
It's going to finish 2-2. Santa Clara is going to get a point here, I think, because Benfica's coming off of Europe. We've been playing poor, and we play worse on the back of a European game. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to say 1-1 in that one. I'm going to say 1-1 in Santa Clara. Rui?
2-1 Benfica.
2-1 Benfica. Gomez?
Ditto. I'm going to go 2-1 Benfica.
Ruano?
Nino, I'm going to go 1-1.
All right. Rui Borges.
Pretty sure we've lost
They
it.
have the same emblem. They used to have the same emblem. They have the
This guy
same
is
colors. That's a good point.
What's next, Mikey? What's next?
Sporting Aroca.
Sporting Aroca.
Yeah.
Like that. I said
Yeah, now
3-3.
Sporting.
You want to 3-1. 3-1 Sporting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go 3-0.
I'll go
3-0.
4-0. Sporting. 4-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0. Always cautious, Thomas. Always cautious. Ruano?
I like the 3-1, Nino. 3-1.
3-1. All right. What's next? I got Rui
All
Borges
right.
says 1. He's Beal, man. Trust the process, brother. Trust the process. What's next, Mike?
87th minute.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Sunday.
Yell guy. I don't know.
Sunday, Rio Ave AVS.
Rio Ave all the way. 2-0 Rio Ave. No goals for ABS. Rui?
I'll go 1-0 Rio Ave.
Mikey?
I'll go 1-0 also. 1-0 also. I noticed Ochoa played this week, so they're gonna keep the ball out a little bit more. So 1-0.
All right. Okay. Gomez?
I'm actually with you guys. I think it's gonna be 1-0. Really well.
Okay. All right. Go, Mauricio?
Just to be different, I'll go 2-0 Rio Ave.
And then we missed one more from the Sporting game. We got Super Genius in 4-0. All right, with his hat trick from Harder. Jesus,
I hope he's right.
Man, all right. Mike, what's next?
We got Vitória Guimarães. No, we got Farense Porto first. Farense versus Porto.
It's San Luis Stadium. San Luis. It's in San Luis,
I
right?
think it's at the Algarve Stadium. Hold on, let me double check.
Oh, you gotta be right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they're playing the big three at the Stadio do Algarve, so it's not with the bigger capacity.
Porto, brother. Porto.
Mhm.
Porto's gonna put 3 on Farense. 3-0. Rui?
Yeah, I was thinking
Great.
3-0 this weekend. I think we're gonna have a good result.
Yes, sir. Mikey?
I'll say 3-1 to be different, but Porto wins.
Derek?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Porto.
2-1 Porto. Mauricio?
I'll go with Mikey's famous 3-0 Porto.
All right. What is this? Look at this. Look at Piero. Just real quick.
No.
He asked me, right?
Yeah.
He asked me right before the game.
Nino likes
who's going to
it.
win the Super Bowl? I said the Eagles. They're like, no, I want to say the Piero. Okay, all right. You got to trust the process, Piero. You got to trust the process.
Yeah, trust
You
the
gotta
process.
Trust the process.
What's next, Mikey?
Sunday night, Derby do Minho. Vitória versus Braga.
Ooh.
I'm going 2-2 on this one.
A lot of pride on the line.
Yeah, that's the number. That's the number, bro. 2-2.
It's in
2-2 on that
Guimarães.
one.
That's a huge advantage alone. Especially
I'll say-
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Mikey?
I'm going to say 2-2 also, but 10 men versus 10 men at the end. I think Vitória is tied like 5 matches in a row, so
What do you think? Pineda's doing this game? What are you doing?
it doesn't matter. There's gonna emotions are gonna boil over. These
My
two
God.
teams hate each other.
Gomez.
I'm gonna go 2-2 as well.
All right, all right. We got it. What's next?
We got Gil Vicente Famalicão.
Rui Borges just 3-2 Braga.
Yeah.
Gil Vicente Famalicão in Marcelos.
Monday night football.
Monday night soccer on Gold TV. My Gilistas, don't ask me, brother. I'm gonna say every time when I'm
That stadium, yeah.
I think I called any of my predictions. I got Gil Vicente down for the past, 15 rounds or so. So I'm not gonna make a difference today. So it's gonna be Gil Vicente 2-1, bouncing back from the previous game. Roy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Gil Vicente.
Mikey.
3-1 Gil Vicente.
Nice. Gomes.
I'm gonna go with you, Nino. 2-1. 2-1 Gil Vicente.
Nice. Ruano.
I like Gil Vicente 2-0.
All right. I like that. Positive vibes with my Gilistas. Mikey, that's the last game.
That's
right?
it. That's the last one.
Making sure, because I always miss a game. But not anymore. Not anymore. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rui. Thank you, Mauricio. Gomez.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you for being here on Tuesday. See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
See you guys.